Hi guys, Vince McConnell here from Murphy & Gunn BMW Middletown. Today we get to drive the long-awaited BMW 520 M Sport, which has arrived in Middletown, Murphy & Gunn BMW. I'm going to be going through a couple of points and a couple of options in regards to what's standard, what's not standard, and also what has changed. There's a lot of press coverage saying that the car hasn't changed that much from the previous model. I would absolutely say they're wrong in that. The car itself, on this rotten wet day that we have, I've just taken out of the dealership, so I'm going to be taking you for a test drive around our test drive route and pointing out some of the bits and pieces as I mentioned to you. Okay, so starting off from a driving point of view, the car comes with the 190 brake horsepower engine coupled with the 8-speed automatic fly-by-wire gearbox. This engine and gearbox has the clever shift on it. And for a lot of people, they're unaware of the fact that the sat-nav is now in tune with the gearbox. So the car will measure as to what kind of an incline or decline you're on to give you the most and best fuel efficiency possible. This particular model that I'm driving today is the 520 M Sport. The car itself comes now standard with the professional sat-nav, which is a massive jump in regards to quality and clarity on the screen. For a small fee extra, there is a great option which is gesture control, which is a leading item that BMW have brought to market, and it has come as a derivative from the 7 Series directly. The car itself, from a driving point of view, my initial take on it is it's much quieter to the previous 5 Series, a model which, as anybody who's driving one would say, how could they improve it? This car has been dramatically improved. The noticeable things, first off, is the car is 100 kg lighter than the previous model, which you can feel straight away when you get into the car. It still has that solid feel, but when you close the doors, you close the boot, you don't need to use as much force. The colour choices and the options on the car have been dramatically changed, and the interior trim finish, which you'll get to see a couple of snapshots of later. The detailed stitching on the car seating is much more noticeable. It has that very distinctive styling to it of individual finish. The dash, you now have the option of having your own detailed stitching dash on it. That is an option as well you can go for. The digital display, so the clocks are all digitalized now, so whilst changing, and again we'll cut to these later, you can actually change your dials to a speedometer, which is directly in view with you on the dash. This particular model I'm driving has the head-up display. Not for everybody, but it is a very nice option to have, and once anybody has it, it's very hard to go away from it. BMW again have brought out the black roof lining on the M Sports model, very distinctive. You've got your bucket style seats. You have this beautiful M Sport steering wheel, which is again taken directly from the 7 Series and incorporated with this new 5 Series. The model code is the G30, where its previous model was the F10. So as I mentioned earlier, a lot of journalists have written about the car and said from a visual point of view it still looks very similar from the outside. As I said before, I would disagree. To look at this model, it is slightly longer, it's slightly wider, and the car is so much quieter on the road. The double wishbone suspension again is something that is incorporated on the drive of the car. From a handling and a road holding point of view, you can feel that straight away with the lighter weight on the body of the car. From a driving point of view, any little divots in the road, and as I mentioned, this is the M Sport that I'm driving, it's been very surprising to people's reaction who have actually driven the car that the M Sport suspension is not as hard or as rigid on the road. So a big improvement there. Braking system, the M Sports Plus package on the 530 gives you that very distinctive and noticeable M Sports blue brake calipers. These brake calipers are actually twin pod brake calipers, so it's needed to for better braking from a higher brake horsepower engine. The 6-cylinder engine, still a very popular model. We've taken a good few orders on those particular ones. Something that has come to market on the 5 Series, which is long awaited, and again makes a big difference drive-wise point of view, is the XDrive. The BMW 5 Series is now available in XDrive. It was incorporated originally with the BMW X5, but now they've brought it across and they're spreading it across their different model ranges. So for the likes of the 5 Series, you now have the XDrive option in it. The benefits is that the car will have better road holding, and also there's one other item that you've probably read in reviews if you're been reading up on this model, is that there's a lot of talk of adaptive drive. BMW have been shouting on about the adaptive drive, which is depending on your style of driving and what type of driving you're doing, it would be something well worth considering and having a look at, because it adapts to your actual driving situation and gives you better and nicer feel to the car from a driving point of view. So what else is new? The whole interior of the car. It's a brand new chassis. It's longer. There's more leg room in the back. The finishes, as I've mentioned already, there's a number of different colour options on the outside. One unusual thing is that BMW haven't gone with the option of silver in an M Sport this time round. We've taken a good few orders so far for the likes of carbon black, which has been notably a very distinctive M Sport colour. There's a new colour which again we'll snip to later on, which is cognac leather. It's absolutely stunning. This is the model that I'm driving, has this as well. This model that I'm driving is the 520 M Sport, but it has the Plus package on it, and it's got the Harman Kardon sound system, so it's got the upgraded sound system for a small cost extra. The clarity of the iDrive screen, it's all touch screen, and again this is standard, so you can go in and bring across podcasts, bring across any music depending on the model of phone that you have. There's a couple of other interesting options in that you now have the capability of wireless charge. So basically you can take your mobile phone, depending again on the manufacturer. There are certain models that you would need to get a particular type of case, which will enable the car for an option to charge your phone wirelessly. So no more plugging in, no more cables hanging out. You still do get the option of your USB port and your auxiliary input, so you can plug in any device and charge it in the car whilst on a long journey. The car itself, again, back to the drive. On this small test drive that I'm doing at the moment and on the open road, the car is just, the handling, the drive, the finish of the car, you know, you definitely know by getting behind the wheel that the car has changed. Safety wise, still has the NCAP 5-star safety rating on it. Couple of other options and items that are available this time around, which is standard. I suppose the first one I should mention is that the ambient lighting on the interior of the car is a nice little touch that BMW have brought in as well. This enables you to obviously have your footwell and door panels illuminated at night time whilst driving. Just makes that cockpit that little bit more special. The digital display and clocks, as I mentioned earlier, are now all digitalized, so this enables you to put a speedometer up on the dash as you're driving in sport mode. Again, you have comfort mode, and now, as before, you've got Eco Pro mode, which will show and give you your better fuel return. Obviously, switching to Eco Pro mode, what will actually happen is it does pull back on power and performance, and you will notice that and feel it, but does give you the better and best fuel efficiency possible. The next mode up is comfort mode, which a lot of people would be used to. This would be the standard drive that a lot of people would tend to drive in. Again, the displays and the clocks will change in accordance to me switching and chopping and changing through the different modes. So comfort mode would be your standard drive, and it would make the car feel like, you know, for city driving and urban driving, just nothing over the top from a performance point of view. Next switch up is your sports mode. So again, you flick into sports mode, you get the M Sport on this model, you'll get the M Sport emblem coming up on the screen, and it'll give you your speedometer in a digital display and format on the dash to you. Your rev counter changes as well, and also it turns red too. Gesture control, as you can see, is very effective and does work. In order to turn your radio volume up, you just use your finger in a rotating manner, up or down, as you would with the dial for changing your volume. Station wise, to change the radio station, you just point your two fingers at the screen and this will enable you to change your radio stations. And again, any incoming phone calls, the beauty of it is if you don't wish to take a call, you can use the swipe mode, which will put the call aside that you can address later on. Or if you choose to take a call as it's incoming, you can point your finger forward towards the screen and that will answer any incoming calls as well. So spec-wise, majority of the models that we seem to be selling would be, it's a bit of a 50-50 mix at the moment. The 520D is always and has been a great seller. The M Sports seem to be, with certain offers that BMW are running at the moment, seem to be a big seller for us. The 530s with the 6-cylinder engine have been a great seller as well, and we're starting to see a lot of people going for XDrive. It's something I wouldn't rule out, and the benefits of XDrive would basically mean that in the likes of snowy conditions or wet and icy conditions, you will have better traction and better handling on the road. It's not going to stop a car from losing traction, but it will give you the maximum traction that you can possibly get. Again, BMW have used a number of different tyres this time around, so Pirelli, the usual, run flat tyres from 18-inch wheels upwards have made a big improvement. They're softer compound, so you'll find that the ride is more forgiving from a drive point of view, and the handling in turn of that, you have your option of your winter tyres as well if you wish to go for those. Couple of other points to note is that the efficient dynamics is here again, so you have the option of having the engine cut off at the lights when you're stationary, or when the engine gets up to full running temperature, you have the choice of overriding the stop start function by pressing this little button down below the start. The key, BMW have brought out the similar key to the 7 Series and also the X5 at the moment. If you have an M Sport, you get this multicoloured emblem on the side, the BMW distinctive M Sport colours. Lock, unlock, boot release is all standard on the key. It is keyless go, so once you get into the car, you just put your foot on the brake, press start, and the car will recognise that the key is inside in the frame. The other interesting thing is that the key has what's known as rambling codes. So from a security point of view, nobody can gain entry to the car or unlock the car or try and retrieve data information from the key. The codes are constantly changing. So from a security point of view, it's peace of mind as well. Alarm, immobiliser are all standard on the car. BMW have their latest version of their alarm system on it. The car also comes as standard with deadlocks, so if someone was to break the window and try and put their hand in and open the door, release the boot, that is not the case. They will not be able to do it. There's motion sensors inside in the car as well, which will set the alarm off, set the horn blowing, and also set the hazard lights off on the car. SOS Assist, this is the latest introduction from BMW as well, and it's across all the range and all the models. BMW have introduced connected drive services. Now this is a leap forward in comparison to any other manufacturer that BMW have been up against over the last couple of years. Connected drive services basically means that if you have no mobile phone with you, you can connect with the outside world. How do they do it? BMW have built in a SIM card inside the car. So in the event of an emergency, you'll see up on the roof here, you've got an SOS, an emergency button with a little flap on it that when you press it, you'll see an illuminated orange button with SOS on it. A lot of people have asked me over the last year or two, what is this or what does it do? Basically, in the event of two options, if you have a breakdown and you require BMW breakdown assist, you press this button, and the fact that the car has sat nav, it sends your coordinates to BMW breakdown assist. You can ask them if you need assistance. They will answer the phone. They'll ask, do you need breakdown assist or do you need the emergency services? Now this, as a product built into the car, is peace of mind for anybody whose family's member may be going on a long journey. To have this is amazing. It's a built-in SIM card, so it'll give you connectivity with the emergency services and also with the breakdown assist. The other item which a lot of people aren't aware of is that, God forbid, if the car was ever involved in an accident and the airbag was to deploy, BMW's assist will automatically send data and information to the to the emergency services to inform them as to where the incident has happened. BMW will contact and try and make contact with the vehicle. If you don't answer, they will deploy the emergency service to your location, or if you need to talk to anybody for assistance, BMW will have already tried to contact you in the vehicle. I've had a number of customers who've availed of this service over the last 3-4 years, and it's massive peace of mind. Obviously, if your mobile phone battery has gone flat, or you have no mobile phone with you in the event of an emergency. So really, really good feature, really good item, never spoken too much about, and should be spoken a hell of a lot more about in regards to that being as part of the car. That's included with the car. The car comes with a 3-year breakdown cover, and also comes with a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. So in the event, God forbid, if anything was to fail from BMW's point of view, you're covered. That's unlimited mileage, so again, over the 3-year period, you will have your breakdown cover and your warranty. Warranty, just to be clear on it, covers anything that would be manufacturer fault. So in the event or a situation where something was to fail or something was to stop working, as long as you have the car serviced with a main BMW dealership, you won't have any issues or problems. The other thing, which is a big seller, and we have an offer running at the moment, is BMW's Service Inclusive, which again this model avails of. And a lot of people are still get a bit of a shock when you tell them they've no service bill, subject to it falling within the parameters of Service Inclusive. To give you an example, the Service Inclusive is a set fee depending on which model you're looking at, and will cover all your servicing for 5 years or 100,000 kilometers. So whichever comes first, either the 5 years or 100,000 kilometers. It's a fixed service motoring cost, so you know exactly how much it's going to cost you. The items that would not be covered on that unless you went for an additional package would be the likes of brake pads and brake discs, and tyres would not be also included in it. So again, the new BMW 520 diesel, 530 diesel, massive changes. It's definitely worth coming in to have a test drive in. The F10, long time we were asking how could they improve it. BMW have pulled it off again. They definitely have. There's more of a 7 Series style and feel to the car. Visually on the outside, unless you get up close to the car, you'll begin to see and notice the substantial changes that BMW have made. One of the other items they've changed is they put the grille on the side of the vehicle, so in the front wings you'll see the air diffusers around the wheel arches. Now a lot of people would ask us, what do these items do, or what is the benefit of them? What the gills will do is they will release any built-up pressure or resistance whilst the front wheels are rotating and driving, so it diffuses any resistance, again contributing to BMW being one of the lowest CO2 emission cars in its class. 520 diesel, G30, definitely a model worth having a test drive in, and definitely worth coming down to myself or any of my colleagues in Murphy & Gunn BMW to have a look at. Thanks a million for watching. Talk to you soon.